Welcome, folks, to Métis Minutes, presented by the Squeaky Wheel. I'm one of your co-hosts, the captain, Ross Memphis Pambrin. With me, as always, is my fellow co-host, the president, Lawrence Gervais. Lawrence, let's talk Red River carts.
Well, otherwise known as Einwagen or Einschrei, they were advanced technology in their days. As you can see, they were made out of wood and wood only, no steel, no grease, no nothing. So what they were invented for was the fur trade and keeping the economic adventures going in a commercial area. So they're invented in 1801 and observed by Alexander Henry the Younger and in Pembina, North Dakota. This sort of follows our one of our major trade routes to the east and the west. And they could carry 450 kilos, about 992 pounds, which is close to a ton of weight. And they were all wrapped by shaginappy, which is sort of a buffalo string that they would tie, just like rawhide, and it would keep all the wood together in a nice, strong bind. And they were very, very important.
So, Lawrence, I was reading, and this was from a book from Irene Tournier Gordon in 2009. It was the book called A People on the Move, and it was a bit of a tale and story of the Métis people. But in reference to the Red River cart, they talked about how this moved at about 1 kilometer an hour, and I can only imagine how long that must take to get across the plains. A brigade of these was 10 or more. But from what I understand, and what they seem has been recorded, was the longest of these trains was 500 carts long. I can't imagine.
Oh, I can imagine either. Imagine sitting at that railway stop and seeing that train go by.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the cart trains were very, very important to us because you could actually line those things up, tie them together with the shaginappy, and tie 2, 3, all the way to 500, what Captain Pambrin is talking about. And that was creating a very large train. And, I could see yourself just getting stuck, just waiting for that thing just to go by, just like how we do nowadays. But, it was very significant for economic trade. So in terms of the timeline for the technology itself, the 1740s was the invention of the York boat, which was sort of navigated our water system, very large, that could carry a mass amount of furs. And then when we started to move in mainland predominantly to trade, we used a lot with the Red River cart, and that was invented in 1801. And then the steamboats in 1850s, that was another fur trade invention. And then, of course, our railway in 1885, which helped supported more economic trade and vehicle transport, which we see nowadays, and airplanes. So that second sort of stage piece right there was very significant for economic ventures moving into the West. And then, of course, it had wood on wood, so that meant squeaky wheels. You could hear those things from all over the prairies, miles away. You would actually hear those carts. And we follow the cart trails are mainly on major roadways that we see nowadays, like the Yellowhead Highway, which was named after a Bottineau who was a fur trader who had blonde hair. Major highways that you see going across Canada were once cart trails.
That's absolutely fascinating that this piece of technology has opened up the West. So, folks, you heard it here. Thank you for participating in Métis Minutes. I'm the Captain, Memphis Pambrin, and with me, as always, my wonderful co-host. Thank you, Lawrence Gervais. Thanks, folks.